You know, during the first and only debate, President Trump talked about migrants taking cats and eating them. You know, if you're keeping track at home, this is the second time grabbing a kitty has been part of a campaign issue. You know,
we talked about leaving that out.
I was going to leave that out.
So that was from the Al Smith dinner in Manhattan, and the host, the comedian, was making fun of Donald Trump for sexually assaulting women and also for saying that migrants are actually here illegally who are here lawfully, Haitian migrants from Springfield, Ohio, and are eating cats and dogs, which is false. And as I reflect on that moment, you see Melania right there, how uncomfortable she looks. But this Al Smith event is an event with Catholic priests, and I just think about how degrading Donald Trump has turned our body politic into, where this even exists. There's nothing funny about what you just saw to me. And while I think Melania is vile and Donald Trump is beneath contempt, the whole scene there, they're talking about SA, they're talking about sexual assault. And that's not a laughing matter that people in white tuxedos should be there laughing about at all. And as I think about how we got here with the Republican Party having one of Jeffrey Epstein's best friends in Donald Trump lead their party. Donald Trump said Epstein's a great guy. He said he likes women on the younger side. Direct quote that Donald Trump gave to New York Magazine. Donald Trump would fly on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. Heck, right now, as we speak, as I'm recording this video, Donald Trump uses Jeffrey Epstein's old jet, his Gulfstream jet, to campaign on right now. I know corporate media couldn't handle that story for more than a few hours. We'll relentlessly talk about it here on the MeidasTouch. He's currently in Epstein's jet, using it to campaign on right now. But I just want you to reflect on this, right? You have Donald Trump being deposed in a case where he was found liable for sexual assault. Juries heard Donald Trump's cases, and a jury said, Donald Trump, you are liable for sexual assault after hearing all of the evidence, where Donald Trump didn't testify. Donald Trump could have testified on his behalf. He was too afraid to. You know where he was? In Scotland and Ireland during the trial, but he was deposed. So the jury, even though he fled the country, got to see his deposition. And grilled by E. Jean Carroll's attorney about his Access Hollywood line that stars can sexually assault women and grab them by their genitals, Donald Trump says, yeah, historically it's true, he says. Here, play this clip.
And you say, and again, this has become very famous in this video, I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the pussy?
Well, that's what it's, if you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
Here's another moment from that deposition as well that now is becoming what? A punchline at some white tie New York City event. Disgusting. Where Donald Trump is shown a photo of his sexual assault victim, E. Jean Carroll, and Donald Trump thinks it is his ex-wife, Marla Maples, and Alina Habba has to coach him. Here, play this clip.
I think so, yes.
And do you recall when you first saw this photo?
At some point during the process, I saw it. That's, I guess her husband, John Johnson, who was an anchor for ABC, nice guy. I thought, I mean, I don't know him, but I thought he was pretty good at what he did. I don't even know who the woman, let's see, I don't know who, it's Marla.
You say Marla's in this photo?
That's Marla, yeah, that's my wife.
Which woman are you pointing to? No.
Here. Oh, is that,
the person you just pointed to was E. Jean Carroll.
Who is that? Who is this?
And the woman on the right is your then wife.
I don't know.
Ivana?
This was the picture. I assume that's John Johnson. Is that
That's Carol?
Because it's very blurry.
Now, in your June 21.
Speaking of Alina Habba having to coach him, as part of Donald Trump's campaign right now, he's been giving talks, press conferences, he calls them, where it's just him ranting and raving. But one of the things he talks about are the women who have accused him of sexual assault. And then Donald Trump says, well, I couldn't have sexually assaulted them. He goes, they're too ugly for me. They're not the chosen one. They're not good looking enough for me to choose them to sexually assault them. Here's Donald Trump saying that. Here's Alina Habba in the background. She was the one who coached Donald Trump at that deposition. Play the clip.
I know you're going to say it's a terrible thing to say, but it couldn't have happened. It didn't happen. And she would not have been the chosen one. She would not have been the chosen one. She has gone around for years saying the story. Everywhere I go, she says this story. And it's a total lie.
And fortunately, my friend George Conway of the Anti-Psychopath PAC has took out a multi-million-dollar ad buy highlighting this Donald Trump sexual assault, like this video of Natasha Stoynoff, one of Donald Trump's victims. Play the clip.
My name is Natasha Stoynoff. In 2005, I went to interview Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. At one point, Melania went upstairs to change her clothes for the next photo shoot. And Trump said to me, I want to show you this beautiful painting, this beautiful room. He leads me to this room, pushes me against the wall, and starts kissing me forcefully. I tried to push him. He kept coming back at me. I was in shock and smothered, and he had his hands here against my shoulders. I felt sick inside. I felt horrified. And thank goodness the butler charges into the room. Like many women, I blamed myself. So Trump turned to me and said, you know we're going to have an affair, don't you? And Melania was approaching. I was horrified. When the Access Hollywood tape came out, and also stories of many other women, including E. Jean Carroll, I realized I was not to blame, that he was just a predator of women. What could have happened if the butler had not come into the room? Donald Trump is an adjudicated sexual assaulter. We cannot elect this man as president.
Or meet Amy Doris, one of Donald Trump's victims. Play the clip.
My name is Amy Doris. In 1997, I attended the U.S. Open. We went to Donald Trump's VIP box. I went into the bathroom. When I came out, Trump was standing there. He was not waiting to go to the bathroom. He was waiting for me. He kind of grabbed me and tried to kiss me. He was touching me all over my body. I pushed him away. I could not move. He just shoved his tongue in my mouth, started kissing me. It was so forceful. It was not pleasant. It was not welcomed. It was not consensual. I literally used my teeth to push his tongue out of my mouth. It was violating and it was traumatic. I thought it was my fault. Seeing the Access Hollywood video made me realize that Donald Trump is a serial sexual predator. He says he's going to protect women. He harms women. He has no respect for women. It is a danger to our society to put this man back in the White House. It's like, when will this stop?
Meet Jessica Leeds, one of Donald Trump's victims. That's who Donald Trump was saying is not the chosen one. That's what he calls his sexual assault victims, the chosen one, he says. Here, play this clip of Jessica Leeds.
1979, I had gotten on an airplane. The stewardess said to me, would you like to come up to first class? In the window seat was a gentleman, said that his name was Donald Trump. The airplane took off, and all of a sudden, Donald Trump started groping me. He was trying to kiss me, and I'm trying to push him away. He was basically overpowering me. When he started putting his hand up my skirt, I got out of the seat, grabbed my purse, and went back to my original seat. And I certainly was shook up by the whole thing. 2 years later, at this fundraiser, up comes Trump and his wife. And he looked at me, and he said, I remember you. You're that cunt from the airplane. Donald Trump views women as for his entertainment. He is a serial predator. He has said it point blank, and he's done it, and he will continue to do it.
At least Judge Report's got it right. American Psycho. That's what he is. I've been trying to lose some weight lately and get a little healthier, and I'll tell you what's been a key for me. It's called Prolon, and a lot of our viewers say it's changed their life. So forget everything you know about fasting. I want to tell you about Prolon by L-Nutra. It's the only patented fasting mimicking diet that combines the benefits of prolonged fasting with science-backed nutrition plans so you can hit your health and weight loss goals without actually having to give up all the food. So introducing Prolon is a revolutionary plant-based program. It nourishes the body while making cells believe they're fasting. Researched and developed for decades at the University of Southern California Longevity Institute. By the way, I teach at USC Law. It's backed by leading U.S. medical centers. Prolon helps promote healthy blood sugar, supports cardiovascular health, and it reduces abdominal fat. But Prolon isn't a diet. Prolon is a science. Science based on Nobel Prize winning discoveries in medicine. It all starts with Prolon's 5-day program. Snacks, soups, and beverages, they're all designed to keep your body in a fasting state. Unlike anything you've ever experienced. I did the 5-day program. I feel so much better, feel more energy. And the thing is, it's not a diet, it's a science. And it was convenient. They sent me everything I needed all in one box. I followed the directions. It was great. No wonder thousands of doctors are now recommending Prolon to support healthy blood sugar and cardiovascular health. So right now, Prolon is offering the MeidasTouch podcast listeners 15% off their 5-day nutrition program. So go to prolonlife.com/Meidas, M-E-I-D-A-S. That's prolonlife.com/Meidas, prolonlife.com/Meidas for this special offer. The Prolon, that's prolonlife.com/Meidas. Check it out. And when Donald Trump speaks in front of the young Republicans, these are teenagers and college students. He says, I'm going to play the clip for you, that the most courageous thing that he or any American has done. He said a 4-star general came up to him and he said that when he says that sexually assaulting women and grabbing them by their genitals is locker room talk, he said that's the most courageous thing American has ever done, as told to him by a wartime general. This is what Trump is telling the kids. Play this clip.
But I went onto that stage just a few days later, and a general who's a fantastic general actually said to me, "Sir, I've been on the battlefield. Men have gone down on my left and on my right. I stood on hills where soldiers were killed. But I believe the bravest thing I've ever seen was the night you went onto that stage with Hillary Clinton after what happened. And then that woman asked you the first question about it. And I said, locker room talk. It's locker room talk. What the hell? What are you talking? Locker room talk." That was not a great...
Going back, though, to the first clip of Melania, she's complicit. Because let's remember, when Melania was asked about it, she said, oh, that's just guys being guys. That's just locker room talk. Here, play the clip.
He described it as locker room talk. Mm-hmm. To you, I mean, you sort of alluded to that as well. Is that what it is to you, just locker room talk?
Yeah, it's kind of two teenage boys. Actually, they should behave better, right?
He was 59.
Correct. And sometimes I said, I have 2 boys at home. I have my young son and I have my husband. So, but I know how some men talk, and that's how I saw it. Yes.
Why? Why, Melania? Because for her, it's all a grift. So she can sell her $500 First Lady gold bills for $9.99, fake $500 bills for $9.99. Let us not forget how Donald Trump met Melania, because during Donald Trump's Jeffrey Epstein days in the 1990s, one of the things that Donald Trump would do as well is visit the old Kit Kat Club. The Kit Kat Club, they called it. And a guy named Paolo Zampoli, who ran a modeling agency, would bring in young Eastern European women to meet wealthy Manhattan males. At the Kit Kat Club, they would all meet. That's how Donald Trump met Melania. There it is, the New York Times. When Donald met Melania, Paolo was there. Here Paolo is at one of his parties. And they talk about in this article how he was the one who secured ultimately Melania's visa. She got an Einstein visa. She got to cut the line, by the way. And she was introduced to him in 1998, a party he hosted at the Kit Kat Club with fashion models and lions and tigers. Ooh, sounds fantastic. Sounds interesting. Sounds disgusting. That's how it sounds. And here's Donald Trump bragging on tape about how he would use his beauty pageant to inspect women naked without their consent. Play the clip.
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. Right, I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
And here he is saying that he wants to have sex with Lindsay Lohan because she was mentally ill. And I believe Lindsay Lohan was 18. She may have been younger at the time, but she was only like 18 years old, possibly had just turned 18 or was 17, but I think 18. But here he is saying, oh, it's the mentally ill ones that are the best in bed, he said. Here, play this clip.
What do you think of Lindsay Lohan, Howard?
I think she's hot.
There's something there, right?
Yes.
But you have to like freckles. I've seen a close-up of her chest.
Yes.
And a lot of freckles. Are you into freckles?
If the father's a wreck, like the way he is.
Right.
You imagine the sex with this troubled...
Yeah, you're probably right. She's probably deeply troubled and therefore great in bed.
Back in the day...
How come the deeply troubled women...
Yes.
Deeply, deeply troubled.
Right.
They're always the best in bed. If for some reason what I said is true, I mean, they're just unbelievable.
I can tell from the...
You don't want to be with them for the long term, but for the short term, there's nothing.
That's Donald Trump. That's who's leading the Republican Party. You won't hear other media talk about it. We'll continue to talk about it on the MeidasTouch network because it's vile. It deserves attention, and Donald Trump seeking the highest office in the land. It's despicable. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at meidastouch.com/newsletter.